Hola. What's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday. So I thought I'd come on and share my thoughts about death. I'll usually sit and have conversations with people, and that information comes back to me. And then I'll sit and I'll think. And I'll be like, what if? So last night while I was talking with my aunt, I had a what if type of a moment. Now, I didn't see this information anywhere. I would say, like I just stated before, when I come up with certain things or when I think of certain things, it's an accumulation of information and knowledge that I've learned over the years, and then I just combine it. I analyze everything. That's what my boss told me last week. My boss was like, do you realize you analyze everything? And I was like, yeah. So me and my aunt was talking, and we got on the subject of death. And I was like, ooh, when I think of death, I don't get afraid like some people. I'm actually excited about death. I'm that person that is going to embrace death. It's like when I think of death, to me, it's like the end of one journey and the beginning of another. I know that we are spiritual beings that have souls, and I believe our soul is energy, just like I believe God is energy. I don't believe God is like this father that's sitting up on this, crown and, ready to hold you to his bosom. He's not a man. He's not a woman. God is energy. And we are a part of that energy. Your soul is energy. Your soul cannot be created nor destroyed, according to science. I looked up to see. I was like, can energy be destroyed? And it says energy can be changed into another form. So you can change the form of energy, but it cannot be destroyed, neither created. That's just like going back to the Bible when they tell you if you die, your soul is either going to go to heaven or hell. It doesn't say that your soul is going to be destroyed. You can't destroy energy. So that's why I believe that we have always lived. Your soul has always lived. Your spirit has always been around. Okay. Now, with that being said, so when I pretty much said to her, oh shoot, y'all, I just ran over a snake. What does that mean? Oh, and it was going across the road in front of me. And let me turn around and, oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. People done ran it over as I was riding by. People done ran it over. He's still slithering, child. It got my skin crawling. Mommy, you better not get on here because you know you don't like snakes. Yeah, it's like a brown. They done ran it over. The people that came behind me. He was fine when I came back because I ain't run him over. So my skin is crawling right now. I'm like, that's so nasty. And my brother loves snakes. Chaz, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I ain't even finna go back down this way. I'm going the opposite direction. I don't even want to see that junk no more. That's like, okay. So now I gotta go and see. And he was going across the street, literally just going straight across. And I drove right over him. Like he went under my car. But I didn't run him over. I don't think I ran him over unless he slithered a little bit more. When my back tire was coming around, I could have hit him. But the trucks and people that came behind me, they tore it up. But I gotta go see what that means. Because I know they say when a snake cross your path, and then look at the subject I'm talking about. Of course, it's like a whole bunch of different explanations online. One talking about, it could be a sign of fertility and healing and transformation. Then another one was saying it could be a sign of growth because a snake sheds its skin. So spiritually, it could mean transforming, maybe elevating spiritually or something like that. And then, of course, you got those that see snakes as being, if you see a snake, it's a warning or whatever, whatnot. So, I don't even know. And y'all know I did have a dream of a snake a long time ago. I remember I did a post about it. But I would have to go back in there to even see what I said. I believe it was like wisdom or something like that. Now, what I also find to be crazy is I don't even take that way home. I never go that way to get home. Like, I just decided today to take a longer way. All right, so back to the conversation I had with my aunt. So yeah, I pretty much expressed to her, and I think I definitely threw her off guard because, you know, when you talk to people about death, the main thing you hear is, oh yeah, girl, you know, I'm just making sure you live your life right and stuff. You don't want to go to hell, and that's pretty much what people have. You know, people are literally afraid of death because of the things that have been drilled into them and drilled into them and drilled into them over the years. So her reaction to that, to me, it was funny, but it was also, I wasn't surprised. So my aunt was like, girl, you crazy. So I was like, she was like, girl, that's crazy. That's a crazy way of thinking, pretty much, you know? So I thought it was funny, but like I said, I wasn't surprised. Because when you have a majority of people who think the same, and then you have that one person that comes in and starts to question it, or starts to analyze it, or brings in a different type of perception, they're crazy. Because you can't understand why they think the way that they think. But I don't have a problem with that. I like to be different. I don't want to be like everybody else, a sheep that just follow each other and just go with, you know, what you've been told. You know, I like to do my own research, pray, ask God for wisdom, guide me in the right direction, and he actually has brought me a lot of knowledge over the years. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on death. Death is just the end of one journey and the start of another. Your soul, I believe, has been around way longer than you probably may think. So, and then I went back to the Bible. All right? Because that's what everybody likes to try to just throw at you, throw at you, throw at you. But I analyzed the Bible. So I was like, okay, the Old Testament was translated from Hebrew, and the New Testament was translated from Greek. All right. So a lot of the modern day Jews that you see over in Israel, they follow the Old Testament. Because I believe they think that is, you know, that's the original gospel. Okay, now if you've done any history about the Greeks, you will know that they had beliefs before they started to embrace the gospel. Now, their beliefs before they began to embrace the gospels was what? Zeus, Hades, Poseidon, all of these mythical gods, right? So then I was like, I wonder if they diluted the New Testament with this, because they obviously believed in a heaven and a hell before they ever even encountered the Gospels. This was just something in their mythology. Hades, okay? That was something within their mythology. So if they're the ones that translated the New Testament, and hell and heaven does not show up in the Old Testament, you don't see, if you go and Google, when did hell pop up in the Bible? Was hell in the Old Testament? It was not in the Old Testament. It didn't show up until the New Testament. The New Testament, which was translated from the Greeks, who believed in this old mythology of heaven and hell. Yeah, y'all still following me? Okay. So how do you know they didn't take some of their mythology and diluted and added within there. Why wasn't that mentioned? Why wasn't heaven and hell mentioned in the Old Testament? The testament that was, the testament that was translated from Hebrew. Think about it. Now, for those that know me, you know I'm a Scorpio. And the Scorpio is the sign of the phoenix, the sign of death, the sign of rebirth. And we can get pretty deep. You know, it's a lot of situations that I wouldn't say situations, but conversations that I shy away from. With me being such an analyst, always analyzing things, I can't help but see the conflict, you know, in this information with the Bible and with history and with just clumping it all together and seeing all these mishaps and discrepancies. And a lot of it I have found a lot of things that have come to my attention that show that some of this information could have been diluted. And it does keep people under control and afraid. You put fear in people, you can control them. Believing that you are so small in this huge universe, but you're a part of it. Your energy is a part of it. Always has been and always most likely will be. Because a lot of you are mentally enchained, mentally stuck. And when I started venturing off and I began to do research, I felt guilty. I really realized and understood how strong brainwash is. I used to hear brainwash, but I never really realized until, you know, when it came to my faith. And my faith was brought upon me as a child. This is something I believed in from an early age, you know, being a Christian. My grandmother was Catholic. You know, my parents were Christian till my dad converted over to Islam. But I never really did my own research. And when I started to do so, I felt really guilty. I felt guilty. I felt like, you know, because you're always taught you don't question God. You pretty much don't question your faith. You just believe. And then when you have been drilled into your head about heaven and hell, it's like, okay, I don't want to go to hell. Like, who wants to go to hell? So then it's like you just start to back away from seeking knowledge, because it's like, okay, you know, if I venture into something too deep, you know, I might not be able to come back from it. And, you know, you tell yourself all these types of lies and stuff to keep yourself stuck. Be honest with you, I felt free. I really felt free. Free to be myself. So with that, take it and do with it as you will. If you got comments, go ahead. Place your comments. I don't care. Just don't be throwing in no scriptures and stuff that you can't go back and you can't prove, because it's a lot of stuff in the Bible that you cannot physically prove, okay? It's just based off your faith and what you believe. Just like I'm telling you about the information that I found and how I'm seeing the comparisons in a lot of these things. But yeah, don't start throwing out your deludedness and your biases. Actually teach me something, okay? Oh, and if any of y'all have anything you want to say about that snake, like maybe a further explanation as to what could have been going on with me starting off this conversation with y'all and then going down the road and then the snake crossing in front of me. Okay, so yeah. So leave a comment. Alright, y'all, gotta go.
And please like and subscribe.